And the sad part of it was I'd called a guy 15, 20 years earlier looking for parts for a half track, and he said nope, he didn't have anything like that, but he had something about a World War I ammunition carrier. And I tried to get a description out of him. Nothing on it sounded like anything I had need of or was interested in, so I let it go. And 15 years later, I'm running into him on a business deal and find out, yeah, it's still something in the hedgerow, and I go and look, and here it is, and the salvage man had got to it and cut off the back of the frame, cut off the fender, the radiator, the hood, and if I'd have gone after the first phone call, it might have been a lot easier.
Right, because probably a lot of it went for just sheet steel.
Yeah, just for junk, yeah. The body was probably gone. It had been used after it was surplused out of the Army. It was used by a local small town gas station as a tow truck, winch truck, whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're probably
and then
right.
then the guy that I bought it from had bought it for parts and stuck in a hedgerow, and so it survived the Army, it survived a filling station, it survived a cutting torch and a parts guy.
It's like you need to maybe find a head that's had a little repair work on it.
It's been welded pretty good.
Have you ever tried? Well, it doesn't look like you ever tried to crank it up.
No, I'm pretty sure it's froze. Like I say, most of it's been underwater.
Oh.
Where I found it, it had tree limbs and straw up over everything. So it ended its life being a home for field mice and hornets.
Well, so many of these vehicles do until somebody drags them back out.
Right. And so, but I hope to resurrect it, and if I do, it'll be a unique piece of history. It should be saved.
Okay. Well, even in this, there's just so much history here, and where you've done the research. And
well, and actually, I'm working on an article. I don't know whether you're familiar with the Military Vehicle Collectors Association, the MVPA.
I've heard of it. I think we have a few members who are
I'm sure you
cross over.
Anyway, they have a quarterly publication called Articles, and they always have articles about things, and I'm in the process of writing an article for them to come out next fall on this vehicle. Because interesting, somebody had an article in this spring, and it was showing some Army maneuvers from Fort Polk, Louisiana in 1940. And there were early Jeeps and other vehicles, and then one of the pictures showed a tent with some men doing radio or something, and in the background was this grill and headlights. And the question in the article was, what's this mystery vehicle? And so I knew immediately that it was the front end of this. It was no mystery to me, so I'm writing a full-blown article on kind of the history of the Indiana Truck Company and how this one came to be, and how this one, the data plate is number 17. Number 76 of them produced.
And probably if you ever do find another one, you'll find no two are exactly alike.
Well, and they've all this has been cobbled up over the years the way it was used, and after the Army got through with it, or maybe even when the Army had it. So you never know what to find. But I'm probably fortunate in that I think the three most difficult parts to replicate on this whole vehicle are probably the bronze windshield standards up there, the castings out of solid bronze. And actually, if you'll notice in the pictures, they all had twin chrome spotlights on them. That was part of the, and here's where the spotlight mounted through this hole here.
Right.
And then these were where they had a wing window, if you will, only it was out of armor plate, that they could fold back or out to give a little more protection to the driver and the passenger. But they weighed 9,000 pounds loaded, a crew of 4, and had a radio, which was pretty remarkable for 1934.
Well, I know every once in a while you can find a lot of history just cruising the military section of eBay Motors.
Yeah.
What will turn up there?
I check. I'm always looking in eBay, and I put in Indiana truck and see what comes up. And actually, I bought 3 pictures of it. Well, let me see. This one, and this one. I bought in the last year off eBay. And they're official. I mean, these are copies I just made to stick in here, but these are official Signal Corps photos, U.S. Army.
Okay, so you didn't. I figured you pulled these off the internet
no,
or out
no,
of the book.
I've got the hard 8x10 official stamp, return to the Pentagon. And I've looked on eBay for probably 20 years, and I've never found any pictures of this car, and suddenly here were 3 of them. So.
That's great. Well, I'll have it up on, should be later this evening on ATHSKansas ATHSKansas.org. Tell me about that truck.
This is the Indiana model 12x4. It's a four-wheel drive 10.5 truck, and the chassis of this truck was what was utilized as the chassis for the T7 Scout car. So there are a number of parts that are interchangeable mechanically for both vehicles. And here's what the data plate looks like. I took mine off and left it home. I didn't want to lose it here. And this is another one. This one is a guy in Oregon, has this data plate. He doesn't have a car. And this is the only other data plate I know of, but it looks just like mine.
And lay that out here, and then that way I can, that'll be the last spring, so if anybody has any information, there'll be your phone number right there.